Good morning students. I hope you all are fine at your home. Today I welcome you as a behalf of British Vidyalaya in online classes.
Good morning students. Today we have started our chapter number 7 from geography and the name of chapter Air. Firstly, we have to learn what is the meaning of atmosphere. We all know our environment is made of the different type of gases, and all gases are included atmosphere. So firstly we have to learn what is the meaning of atmosphere. An atmosphere is a layer of air surrounding our planet Earth. Means the atmosphere surrounds our air like a blanket. All living beings on this earth depend on the atmosphere, and all the living things like plants, animals, we all are depend on the atmosphere for their survival, because without the atmosphere we can't survive. It is this mass of air that has made the temperature on the earth livable, and the mass of the air means the gases in the air that present in atmosphere give us survival and make our earth livable. Means we can live in our earth by the atmosphere. If the atmosphere was not in our earth, then what happened? Life doesn't happen in our earth. If the atmosphere was not there, because we can't get the gases like oxygen we are here. If we not inhale the oxygen, how we live? Plants need the carbon dioxide, and that is also including atmosphere. For the plant, animals and other things, they all need the atmosphere for survive. And in the earth, the life exists because of atmosphere. So it is very essential for our survival, for the earth survival, atmosphere. Now we are coming to our next point, that is composition of atmosphere. Means which kind of things are included in atmosphere. We know the meaning of atmosphere. It is surrounded our environment, but we have to know in the atmosphere which kind of gases are included, which kind of things are included in atmosphere. For this we are studying this slide. In the atmosphere, in the atmosphere nitrogen is there, and oxygen are found. In our atmosphere, oxygen and nitrogen are found in bulk quantities. We are talking about the atmosphere. So in our atmosphere there are the nitrogen part and oxygen part is bulk in quantities. Carbon dioxide, helium, ozone, argon and are found in the lesser quantities. We are talking about the other gases like hydrogen, helium, argon. These other gases are found in less quantity in the atmosphere. Our atmosphere is made of by these gases, nitrogen and oxygen. They are in bulk in quantities, but other gases like carbon dioxide, hydrogen, helium, they are in lesser in quantity in our atmosphere. Apart from these gases, this is the part of gases. Now there are some other things also. Tiny dust particles are also present in the air. Gases are present in the atmosphere, but behind the gases there are the tiny dust particles are also included in the atmosphere. Nitrogen is the most plentiful gas in the air. If we are talking about the nitrogen, so nitrogen part, if we are talking about the nitrogen part, it's a plentiful part, means 78% of the part of atmosphere is made up by the nitrogen. When we inhale, we take some amount of nitrogen. When we inhale like this, we are inhaling. That time what we are doing? We are taking some amount of nitrogen with oxygen. You all know when we inhale, to which gas we are inhaling? We are inhaling the oxygen gas. But with oxygen, there are other gases in the atmosphere. So we inhale with the oxygen, the nitrogen also, some part of nitrogen we are inhaling. into our lungs, and where the gases are gone, they are gone in lungs and exhale it. And what the lungs do? They exhale the nitrogen part. They inhale the oxygen part. They absorb the oxygen part in our body, but the nitrogen part we are exhaling. So these are the work of oxygen and nitrogen in our human body. Now nitrogen. Nitrogen is essential for plants. We are inhaling the nitrogen and we are exhaling the nitrogen. But for the plant survival, nitrogen is very essential for the plants. They cannot take nitrogen directly, but plant can't take the nitrogen directly from the air. If we are talking about nitrogen is in the atmosphere, it is a form of air. But when the plant take the nitrogen, they are not take the nitrogen directly. How they take the nitrogen then? Bacteria that live in the soil. The bacteria that when we dug the soil, we found some bacteria in the soil. That soils and roots of some plants, and you all know all the plants grow in a soil and their roots are under the soil. So some plants take nitrogen from the air, some take the nitrogen from the air and change into form so that plant can use it. So the bacteria that present in a soil, they take the nitrogen in the air by the air, and what they do? They change the nitrogen into its form, and they change the nitrogen form. So when the nitrogen form was changed, that time what the plant do? Plant use that changes part of nitrogen, because they are not take the nitrogen directly by the air. So they take the nitrogen by the bacteria from the soils in the changing form. Now we are coming to our next gas, that is oxygen. Oxygen is the second most plentiful gas in the air. If we are talking about the oxygen, there is a 21% part of the atmosphere is by the oxygen. Humans and animals take oxygen from the air. And who take the oxygen? Human beings, animals take the oxygen, because plants take the CO2, you all know. So who take the oxygen? Human and animals. And how they take? By the air and by the breathing process. They are breath oxygen. When we are inhaling, that time what we are calling this inhaling the breath system. That breath system, what we are doing? We are just inhale the oxygen gas. During the photosynthesis, we plants produce oxygen, and where we get this oxygen? By the green plants. In this way, oxygen contained in the air remain constant. So this way, what happened? The air oxygen was constant because we are inhaling the oxygen, and where we get the oxygen? From the plants. When the plants use the photosynthesis process, that time they produce oxygen, and they are not using that oxygen. Who use the oxygen? We are using the oxygen. That's why we always said that save the trees, plant more trees. Why we are saying this? Because plant gives us oxygen, and oxygen is very essential for the human being life, animals life. So for the survival, we need the oxygen, and that oxygen we get from the plants. Now we are coming to our next case, that is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is another important gas. It is very important gas because plants use the carbon dioxide for making their food. Green plants use carbon dioxide to make their food and release oxygen. We want oxygen. So how we get the oxygen? We get the oxygen by the photosynthesis process. And who do this process? Plants do that process. So for taking the oxygen, what we do? Plants need the carbon dioxide. When they use the carbon dioxide, their food, that time they give us oxygen. Humans or animals release carbon dioxide. And who release the carbon dioxide? We are inhaling oxygen. We are using the oxygen for our survival. But do you know, we are releasing, animal and plants releasing the carbon dioxide. So that carbon dioxide is used by the plant. The amount of carbon dioxide released by humans or animals seems to be equal. Means the animal, the human, they are releasing the carbon dioxide in equal quantity to the amount used by the plant, which make a perfect balance. If human and animal give the equal carbon dioxide, so or plant take that carbon dioxide, that time what is happening? The balance was perfect. But the human beings, the increasing of the population, growth of the animals, there is plants are less and human beings are more. That time what happened? The carbon dioxide was increase the environment, atmosphere, and what happened that time? The quantity of oxygen was less. So it is the imbalance in the environment, atmosphere. So for perfect balance, what we need? We need the equal releasing of the carbon dioxide and equal releasing of the oxygen also. So for this we have to perfect balance between the plants and animals. So these are the composition of the atmosphere.
Nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide, neon, helium, hydrogen, ozone, etc. By volume, nitrogen is 78% and oxygen about 21%. Together, these two gases make 99% volume of the atmosphere. The rest, 1%, are many other gases which are very less in volume, but they are also important for us. Nitrogen is used by the plants for their survival, but plants cannot take nitrogen directly from the air. Bacteria that live in the soil take nitrogen from the air and change its form so that plants can use it. Oxygen is vital for the survival of humankind and nitrogen is vital for plant life and in turn for animal life. Green plants use carbon dioxide to make their food and release oxygen. Ozone protects us from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. The dust particles become base for the water vapor to rest upon and thus form a layer of cloud which gives us rainfall.
I hope by this slide you can understand this chapter very well. Thank you and have a nice day. Good morning students. I hope you all are fine at your home. Today I welcome you as a behalf of SstGeo in online class. In previous slide, we know the composition of the atmosphere. We learned the composition of the atmosphere, which kind of gases in the atmosphere and which percentage it takes in the atmosphere. Now, in this slide, we are discuss about the structure of the atmosphere. What is the structure of the atmosphere? The atmosphere is divided into 5 layers, starting from the Earth's surface. If we are seeing the atmosphere, that is start from the Earth's surface. So it is divided into 5 layers. The atmosphere is divided into 5 layers, and where the layers started, it is started from the Earth's surface. These are, and what kind of layers? We know the name of that layer. First layer is troposphere, second stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. These 5 layers are included in the atmosphere, and our atmosphere is built up by these 5 layers. So, in this slide, we will learn these layers. Our first layer is troposphere. This layer is the most important layer of the atmosphere because the troposphere is the most important layer of the atmosphere. Its average height, the height of the troposphere is 13 kilometers and the air we breathe exists here. The air we breathe means what we are breathing. We are breathing the oxygen. So oxygen is where the oxygen we get the oxygen in the troposphere. So it is most important layer because we get the oxygen from this troposphere. In this layer, all weather phenomena like rainfall, fog, and hailstorms occurs. All the weather phenomena is like rainfall, like thundering, like a fog. All the weather related changes is happening in the troposphere. So there is some point in this layer. First is it is the most important layer. Second, the height of this layer is 30 kilometers, and the air we get from this layer. Now next point is the layer which all the weather changes is happening in this layer. These are the features of the troposphere. Now we are coming to our next layer, that is stratosphere. And we are discussing the features of the stratosphere. First, above the troposphere lies the stratosphere. First thing, stratosphere, where the stratosphere is started. Above the troposphere, we get the stratosphere. It extends up to a height of 50 kilometers. It is started from after the stratosphere. Above the troposphere, the height goes up to 50 kilometers. This layer is free from clouds and the one feature of this layer is this layer is free from cloud. There is no cloud in the stratosphere and associated weather phenomena, and there is no weather changes happen in the stratosphere. All the weather changes are happening in the first layer in the troposphere, but in second layer stratosphere, no cloud goes there, no weather phenomena goes there, which makes it most ideal for flying airplanes. And the weather is not in this layer, so it is ideal for the flying of the airplanes. All the airplanes, you are seeing the airplanes in the sky now. So where they are flying in which layer? They are flying in the stratosphere. It contains a layer of ozone gas, and there is one more quality in this layer. Ozone gas is there. You have a question in your mind. Ozone gas is very beneficial for the human being and animals. All the living beings, all the plants, the ozone gas is most important gas because it saves to us from the ultraviolet rays that is coming from the sun. So it saves from the ultraviolet rays from the sun. So this ozone gas is very beneficial for all the human beings. All the life is happening in the earth that is possible for the ozone layer. If ozone layer was not there, we get the direct sunlight, and what happens? Burn, the skin cancer, so many problems are happening if the ozone layer gas is not there. So it is very beneficial for the human beings and all the living beings in the earth. So this is the second layer of the atmosphere. Now we are coming on next layer, that is the mesosphere. This is the third layer of the atmosphere. It lies above the stratosphere. Stratosphere lies above the troposphere, and the mesosphere is started from the above the stratosphere. It extends up to a height of 80 kilometers, and the height of this layer is above the stratosphere to 80 kilometers. All the meteoroids burn in this layer on entering from the space. The meteoroid asteroid that is coming to our Earth, they are destroyed and burned in this layer. So we are safe. Now next layer is thermosphere. In thermosphere, temperature rises very rapidly with increasing height. When the height is increased, you all know the temperature also rises. So the temperature rises in this layer. The ionosphere is a part of this layer, and the ionosphere, talking about the ionosphere, it is a part of this layer. It extends between 80 to 400 kilometers, and it is coming. It extends from 80 to 4. You know 80. You learned in a previous paragraph the length of the Mesosphere is 80 kilometers, and above the 80 kilometers to 400 kilometers, which layer comes? Thermosphere. This layer has in radio transmission, all the radio transmission, you are listening on the radio, seeing the television, you are using the mobile. That transmission is happened by this layer. In fact, radio waves transmitted from the Earth are reflected back to the Earth by this layer. All the words that mobile, we are talking to a mobile, we are using online calls, all the work that is happening. So what they are transmitted by this layer. So they are written back, they are reflected back by the thermosphere. Thermosphere helps to reflect back all the radio waves, so we can easily listen all the things. Now we are coming to our last exosphere. The uppermost layer of the atmosphere. This is the last and uppermost layer of the atmosphere is known as the exosphere. So what we learn? The name of this layer is exosphere. This layer has very thin air. In this layer, the air was very thin. Light gases like helium and hydrogen float into space from here, and the gases that is floated in the space that is started from this layer. So it is the last layer and the very thinnest layer of the atmosphere. Now in this slide we learn 5 layers of the atmosphere. Now we are watching one video so that we can understand how this layer look like and what kind of work this layer are doing. For this, you are watching this small clip so that you can understand this layer very easily.
Today, we're going to learn about the Earth's atmosphere. The layer of gas surrounding the Earth is called the atmosphere, and it is an essential element for life on Earth to exist. It makes all living things be able to breathe. It protects us from rays coming from the sun and space. And it also prevents large changes in temperature during day and night. The atmosphere isn't homogeneous. Instead, it changes its composition according to its height. It becomes less and less dense with less and less air. Because of those differences, we divide the atmosphere in 5 layers called the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. We're going to know more about each one of them. The troposphere is the interior layer, the closest one to the Earth's surface. It reaches 12 kilometers in height, and within it is where the phenomenon we call the weather happens, the climate. The stratosphere reaches an average height of 50 kilometers, although in some points it reaches 70. Inside the stratosphere, we can find the ozone layer, which is essential for life because it filters ultraviolet light coming from the sun. If it didn't exist, these rays would end life on our planet. The Mesosphere is situated between 50 and 80 kilometers over the Earth's surface. It's the coldest layer in the atmosphere. It can reach less than 90 degrees below zero. It's so cold! The thermosphere, also called ionosphere, reaches 400 kilometers. Within it, space shuttles travel around the Earth. And it's also where the mysterious northern lights take place. They're beautiful, aren't they? The exosphere is the last layer in the atmosphere and is situated between 400 and 2,000 kilometers. After this, there are no more gases, only the emptiness of space. Now we know all about the atmosphere and its layers, but we can't say goodbye without talking about pollution. Human activity releases many gases that contaminate our atmosphere. Smoke from factories, cars, lots of the daily activities we do are creating changes in the atmosphere's composition. All this produces climate change. Floods, acid rain that terminates woodlands. A polluted atmosphere puts the planet's and all living things' health in danger. We need to take the necessary measures so we pollute as little as possible and take care of our planet and the atmosphere so we can carry on enjoying all of nature's wonders.
I hope by this slide you can understand this chapter very well. Thank you and have a nice day. Good morning students. I hope you all are fine at your home. Today I welcome you as a behalf of British Vidyalaya in online classes. In previous slide we learned about the structure of atmosphere. Now in this slide we discuss the weather and the climate. So for understanding the weather and climate we start from the temperature. What is the meaning of temperature? Temperature. The temperature that we feel every day is the temperature of the atmosphere. Every day we feel, sometimes we feel hotness in daytime, in evening and morning time. There is pleasant weather is there. So it is the temperature of the atmosphere. The degree of hotness and coldness of the air is known as temperature. When the hotness is there means the climate, the hot weather is there and the cold weather is there, that is called the temperature. The hotness and the coldness of the air is known as the temperature. The temperature changes between day and night. You all know temperature is changed day and night and season to season. And season to season also temperature change. And if we talking about the daytime the temperature was hot and night time what happened? The temperature was cooled down. And season to season also, if we are seeing summer season, in summer season what happened? The temperature was very hot, hotness is there, and in winter time coolness is there. So these called the temperature. Summer are hotter than the winter. You all know summer is hotter than the winter. Now, insolination. Insolination, an important factor that influences the distribution of the temperature in insolination. Insolination is the main factor that influences the temperature. Insolination took the direct effect in the temperature. Insolination is the incoming solar energy intercepted by the Earth. The solar energy that is intercepted by the Earth is called the insolination. The amount of the insolination decrease from the equator. If we are talking about the equator, there the insolations was decreased towards the poles, and it also, if we are talking about the poles, where the poles we are coming, the decrease was decreased. Therefore, the temperature decreased in the same manner. If we are talking about the equator, in equator, the temperature was high, and when we come towards the poles, that time, what happened? The temperature was decreased. So, see, this is called the decrease in a temperature. In same manner, all the temperature run in a earth. Temperature in cities is much higher than the village. You all know the temperature of the cities higher than the village. Why? The concrete and the metal buildings. Because in cities there is a building that is made by the metals, and the concrete and the roads are also heated in the daytime during the made up, because they made up by the concrete and all the metals, so they are heated, and that heat was released during the night time. And what happened in night time? Night time they released all the heat that they absorb in a daytime. They absorb all the heatness in the daytime, and they release all the heat in a night time. Also, the crowded high-rise buildings. In cities, there are high-rise buildings are there, and here the cities trap the warm air. And in these buildings, what happened? They trap all the warm air. So, this warm air, what happened by this warm air? This warm air raised the temperature of the city. By this warm air, these concrete buildings and the rough buildings are there in the cities. That's why the temperature of the cities was increased. Air pressure. Air pressure is defined as the pressure extracted by the weight of the air on the Earth's surface. The air pressure is extracted by the weight of the air that is in the Earth's surface. The air that is in the Earth's surface, that extract is known as the air pressure. As we go up the layer, when we go up in the sky plane, then atmosphere, when we go up, the pressure falls rapidly. That is what happens. The pressure of the air falls down. And when we see the Earth's surface, that time air pressure was increased. And when we go in upside, means we go for up in the sky in atmosphere, that time what happened? The pressure of the air was falling down. The air pressure is highest at sea level, and we are talking about the air pressure that is highest in a sea level. In sea level, the air pressure was very high and decreased with the height. And when we go in a height, that time what happened? The air pressure is, that means if we go going to a mountain side, that time air pressure was very less. And when we go in a sea level, that time air pressure was very high. Horizontally, the distribution of air pressure is influenced by the temperature of the air at a given place. And one more thing is affected the air pressure, that is the temperature of the place. The temperature of the place is also influence the air pressure. In areas where the temperature is high, the air gets heated and rise. The area where the temperature is high, what happened in that area? The air got heated. They get heated the air and they rise up. This creates a low pressure area. And what happened that time? They create a low pressure area because the air was heated and rise up. So low pressure is there. Low pressure is associated with the cloudy skies and wet weather. And we talking about the low pressure. In low pressure, what happened? The weather was very bad and cloudy. In areas having lower temperature of the air at a given place. And that given place, what happens? The temperature of the air is low. In areas where the temperature is high, the air gets heated and dries. This creates a low pressure. Creates a low pressure area. Low pressure is associated with cloud and fact weather. In areas having the lower temperature and the air cold and heavy. The air of this low pressure area was very cold and very heavy. Heavy air sneaks and creates a high pressure area. And what happens in heavy pressure? What the heavy air do? They seek the high pressure area. High pressure is associated with clear and sunny seas. Means in high pressure area, what happens? The sky was sunny, clear, the cloud. There is no cloud in that area, and the sunny weather is there. The air always moves from high pressure area to low pressure area, and you all know the air moves to high pressure to low pressure area. Now we are coming to wind. The movement of air from high pressure areas to low pressure area is called wind. The air that moves to high pressure to lower pressure, that area is called the wind. That is called the wind. The air that moves from higher pressure to lower pressure, in this area we call the air wind. Winds can be broadly divided into three types. We are divided the winds in three types. Permanent winds. The trade winds, western lights and eastern lights are the permanent winds. The air that is belongs to trade winds we call, and western winds and eastern winds are called the permanent winds. These blows constantly throughout the air in a particular direction. Means this winds never change their direction. It flows in a same direction throughout the air, and it blows in a constantly in a same direction. It never changes the direction. That is called the permanent wind. That is blow in a same direction and throughout the year. That is called the permanent wind. Now seasonal winds. Second, these winds change their direction in different seasons. Means the winds that change their direction according to the seasons. For example, monsoon in India. If we are talking about the monsoon wind, what the monsoon wind do? We give the monsoon in India, rainfalls in India. Monsoon wind they give the rainfall in particular in every areas of the India. So we are called the monsoon wind. That way, because it runs in a season. This season in India rainfall is August. You all know June, July, August, September. These are the seasons that time the rainfall is happened. The monsoon wind was blowing in the India. So these winds are called the seasonal wind that blows in a different direction in the different seasons. Now we are discussing about the local wind. These blows only during a particular period of the day or a year in a small area. Local wind means a small area. That wind blows in a particular season, period of time, and in a particular time in a year. And where this wind blows small areas. So this wind we are called the local winds. Now we are coming to moisturizer. What is the meaning of moisturizer? When water evaporates from land and different water bodies. The water is evaporate. You all know the water cycle. We all learn about the water is evaporating. So where the water evaporates from the water bodies, it becomes water vapor. And after the evaporation, what happens? It becomes the water vapors. Moisturizer in the air is known as the humidity. The moisture in the air is known as the humidity. When the air is full of water vapor, when the air full of the water vapor, that time we call it the humid day. When the water vapor in excess in the air, that time which day is we consider that day is humid day. As the air gets warmer, its capacity to hold the water vapor increase, and so it becomes more and more humid. And when the air gets warm, that means the air gets warm, heated, that time the capacity to holding the water vapors, they hold the water vapors very easily, increasing manner. So the number of the water vapors air was increased, and it is more humid. In the cloudy season, when you are seeing the rainy season, when the clouds are there, that time which weather is humid weather is there because of water vapors. When the water vapor rises, when the water vapors rise up, it starts cooling, it cool down. The water vapor condense, causing formation of droplets of water, like the water vapor. Evaporation is happening, but after evaporation, when they heated more, they rise up and they cool down, and convention method is started. And by this convention, what happened? They become in a water vapor, become in a water droplets. Clouds are masses of such water droplets, and the clouds are filled up this water droplets. When these droplets of water become too heavy, when the clouds are not able to hold this water droplets, then what happens? It becomes heavy to float in the air. So they can't float in the air. You know, clouds are floating in the air, but when the water droplets are make the clouds heavy, that time floating problem is there. They can't float in the air. Then they come down and precipitation. And that time what happened? Precipitation is happening, means rainfall is happening. That time what happened? They drop the water droplets because they become too heavy to carry and float in the air. So what they are doing? They come down as a precipitation. They coming in a form of precipitation, that is we call the rainfall. Precipitation that comes down to the earth in liquid form is called rain. When the precipitation is come in a liquid form, when water droplets come in a precipitation form, that they come in a liquid form, we call the rain. On the basis of the machines, there are three types of rainfalls. If we see, there are the three types of rainfall is happening. First, conventional rainfall. Second, the orographic rainfall, and the cyclone rainfall. There are the three types of rainfall is happening. I hope by this slide you can understand this chapter very well. Thank you and have a nice day.